to the paper, the grass is always greener. I don't do no labels, I call it how I see it.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a No Label Convo. Here with my boy Nell.
Yo.
Shouts out to everybody that's been subscribing on YouTube as normal, liking on Instagram, following on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at No Label the Pod. Follow us on TikTok at No Label the Pod. I got a TikTok now. Now we're gonna be on there dancing and shit. So, know what I mean?
Nah.
Go tune in.
Crumping.
You gonna be doing your gritty?
Hey, man, it's gonna get lit. I'm gonna challenge Sneak Vibe, man. He's about to go crazy.
Hey, run our TikTok up though. And, Facebook, No Label the Podcast.
Facts, man. Shout out to our sponsor. Shout out to Guap Coin. Crypto for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Man, they doing some dope stuff. They showing people how to, know what I mean, become their own bank with the crypto and all that stuff. We just seen JP Morgan just cut off Kanye. They was like, nah, we ain't fucking with you no more. Sheesh. Woo. Man, it's time to understand where finances is going, and I mean, just something to look into, something to keep in mind. Man, today we sitting down with an artist out of Buffalo. I was hearing his music, I was like, yo, this is fire. But the first time I met him, I seen his studio, and I'm like, oh, we got some hidden gems around here. You know what I mean? So I'm here, my man Jaydense. What's good, bro?
Hey, how we doing, man? I appreciate it.
Yeah, living good, man. Man, this is dope. Now you can see our studio.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's awesome. I appreciate you guys having me here, for real.
I appreciate you pulling up, man.
Man, so what you been up to lately?
Man, making music. Been working on a lot of stuff. Getting ready for the show that's coming up in November, first and foremost. Working on like a couple albums actually. But I've been sitting on a lot of stuff. But you know, working, bouncing around, doing some different stuff, man. Staying fresh.
Got you. And you gonna be headlining at the Showplace Theater?
Yes, sir. Yep, November 11th.
Oh yeah. Definitely mark your calendars on that.
Yeah,
but yeah, and when I first heard the project, your last project, I was like, I was just like impressed with how the production and like how clean everything was, and you flowing. So what's the name of your studio and like where y'all record at?
So we it's called like The Property. We're not really like open for like everything that's just kind of like private for the time being. Just kind of like recording exclusively, but we've been getting like really good sound out of there. Me and Bulgaria, shout out Bulgaria. He was in the building tonight too, but he actually is the reason behind all that production sounding so well, man. He just does his thing. So, but me and him have the studio together, and you know, most of the time me and him record together. He engineers, and we just kind of like listen to it over and over again until it sounds right, you know, like, and if it doesn't sound right, then we don't feel like it gets released, you know. So that's the mixing and mastering process has been like really long for us. That's like why we have like so many things that are just sitting around right now. It's just because like I'm at like a point now where it's like if it doesn't sound perfect to me, I don't want to release it, you know. Like it's just gotta be. It's got to be what I want it to be before I drop it, you know. So
no, that's smart, because it made me think of you heard of Mixed by Ali.
Yeah.
The engineer for like TDE, probably like number one engineers type hip hop.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he spends 12 hours on every song. Like
you got to. Like sometimes you got to stop and then go back to it because
each song 12 hours?
Yes.
That's crazy.
But it's not like always just like only him. He has a team of people but at least minimum like 12 hours. Like But
it's dedication.
Yeah,
but that's what it takes
passion.
for perfection.
Yeah, that's
greatness.
What that gets you those plaques. You feel me?
Right.
And it's like stuff like that. Like it stands out. Like
it does, and you don't even think that it does, but it does. It's like it's like the subtleties of like the track, like the little things that are added, like the little like extra miles as you go, like for real. Like that's like I want to. Like, sometimes I go back to tracks that I've dropped already, and it's like, yo, I could have done this, or I could have put like this added vocal over this, or I could have done something different. There should be an ad lib here, you know, like different things like that. Where it's like if I just took like the extra time and like went back on it like one more time and like really finalized it, like it could have came out even better. So that's just what I've been trying to do with my unreleased stuff, so that I don't catch it when I drop it already, you know. So that's been the goal like recently.
That's hard, and that's a separating factor. I feel like some artists tend to miss, because it's like it's the same thing with from your music to you doing an event to like, oh, I don't feel like getting up today. Finding that little bit of power to just let me just show my face. That gets you there. Shaking, you dapped up 100 people at the concert. Was one little kid left reaching his hand and like, let me get this extra. Like it's the subtlest things that take you to that next level.
Absolutely.
So definitely as artists, you need to appreciate that. What's the name? So when did you get started? Like record with the music?
I dropped my first song ever as Jaydense in 2019. So that was my first song. It was a song that was produced completely by myself too. It was called Ropes. And since then it's been taken off of platforms. I don't know why I did. Like a lot of people, like it's still like pretty well streamed on my Apple Music and everything, but it's it's off now. I went back like a while ago and I was like going through some of my discography and I'm like everything that doesn't sound professionally mastered, I don't want on here anymore. So like I took off some of like my really early like amateur stuff, but that was when I started really. And then after that, I started working with another producer by the name of Cody Klink. I made my first Jaydense. That was the name of my mixtape. That's how the whole Jaydense thing really like started, was by my mixtape, Volume 1. Of Jaydense, and then from there, like we're working on part 2, and part 2 is gonna be like an album, like Jaydense album, and then we got the concert series too. So the first Jaydense concert series was at Buffalo Ironworks back in July on the 2nd. That show was really dope, and then we're doing.
Who was on that show with you?
That show we did. So I had APYCM and 5L4L. They came out. Alec Paul and his crew. They did a really good job opening up for me, and then Kane Wave too. He was kind of like the support act. So he like had like a longer set and everything, and. And catered, and I asked him to do it, and he was like arms open. It was so nice working with Kane and everything. And before that, I hadn't even met him in real life. Like I just talked to him. So like meeting him at the show and then working with him, like that was really awesome. Now we have we built a relationship since then. Like I still got his MacBook charger at my studio. He didn't come pick it up yet. So like we've been working on some different stuff, and he's gonna be part of the next show as well. But Open Season's gonna be like my support act for this upcoming show. So me and him work some stuff out, and he's just kind of like we're like featuring him going into it. So it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be real fun. And the Kane Wave's gonna be on this one too. Other artists, Christina Federico, Jay Aves from around this area is gonna be there. AKA The Truth. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's from Michigan right now. He's just out in college and everything, moving around, but he does shows out there for his school, and he's coming back here for this one. So a couple different people with different vibes and everything that I'm working with too. I'm just trying to get like more people involved, try to get like mix also like our people, you know what I mean? Like have Open Seasons fan base in touch with Kane Wave's fan base. They have a song called Millionaire together too. So like they should have mutual connections, like get everybody together. So it's like more than just like people coming out to see me, like it's more than just that. Like it's more than my headlining show. Like I don't want it to just be like that, like it's for Bulgaria too, who produced all the music like for me and everything. And as well as Christina Federico is gonna be at the show. Like just like it's just like a big overall thing, and and I just
was it you setting up all of this?
Yeah, for the Showplace Theater one. So for Buffalo Ironworks one, we got a little bit of help from the management of Young World. Victoria helped us out a little bit in getting that gig. This one, me and Bulgaria were at the Showplace Theater for DJ Anthony's birthday party, because Christina Federico was performing there. And I had a featured song with her that I was going to be performing there as well. So while we were there, we talked to the owner, Joe Roxbury, and we were just kind of like doing our sales pitch of ourselves to him, and he just bought into it like immediately and just kind of like loved us and was like, yo, let's try to work something out for like, he told me straight up, he's like, we don't usually do like local artists for headlining shows here, but we're trying to. We would like to. He goes like, we've just seen it in the past that it wasn't too profitable, like that they fell back on their end and everything from it. So he was like, do you think you'll be able to bring people out to like as a local artist to the show and everything? And I was like, hell yeah. Like I think that like the culture around this area for this music and everything is so strong that like I don't think that like with everything that we're bringing to the table and how hard we've been working, that we couldn't make it a success and couldn't make it profitable at the same time. So
that's facts.
That was our little pitch to him, and then we just kind of ran with it from there. So Yeah, we're November 11th, Showplace Theater. It's going to be the Jaydense show featuring Open Season. We got a bunch of other artists coming and performing as well. And just shout out to everybody that's been helping with that and supporting so far. It's been really awesome, the outburst of support to this point. So,
How long have you been performing for a period?
Performing, I actually started in 2019 after I dropped that first mixtape and everything. I started performing at Buffalo State. I was going to Buffalo State at the time. So I got acquainted into a club called BAM, Black Active Minds, and they brought me in there, and I was just like a part of that club from the beginning, and they just had like a bunch of artists, poets, writers, like rappers, singers, a bunch of people that would just like put on different events and perform around the school and everything. So I got really involved with them, started performing a bunch of my music. From them, I met like a bunch of people. That's actually how I met Bulgaria. One of the artists that I met through Buffalo State doing those events brought me to a studio session with Bulgarian Open Season, and that's how I met them. So it was all from performing, and dude, that's really what I love too. You know, like I love, like, and when I perform, like I don't perform usually with my tracks. I perform without them, and that's like what got me. Like a lot of the showcases that I've won was for that reason. It's like you have the ability to go and you know every single one of your lyrics and can pronunciate them like the way it was on the record. Like that's I love doing that stuff. Like that's because that's what I do, man. That's how it all started. It was just me rapping on beats and everything. So going by like what my ear was, not what it was on a track. I'm just learning to make songs now. You know, like it started as me rapping. Now I'm learning to make songs. You know, so. It was, and there's definitely a difference. You know?
Big facts. I feel like the world seen that. They got put on display during the Dipset and the Locks.
Oh, the lock shit, yeah.
Jada put on the
for real.
master class. I'm like, no, my lyrics is not on here. You're gonna hear every word, and now you're gonna see the difference. And like just like that's that subtlety that makes artists like take you from here to here.
Right.
Type shit.
It makes you more in tune with your art, like more in tune with what you're doing, you know? It's not just, like I could put on a J. Cole song and rap over every single word. That's not impressive, you know? But if it's like what you're actually saying and like actually like making you believe every single thing that you're saying too, like most of the time I'm talking to you, you know? Like it's just me, like I could have a full-blown conversation with you just rapping, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff that I like almost, you know, conscious type of rap, I guess you would say.
When did you say you started hitting your stride, like as an artist? Like you found your sound, you found out like what your content, which was going to be about, and stuff like that.
To be completely honest, it was probably around the time that I met Bulgaria, and that the reason for that is that I was like working on like a lot of boom bap beats specifically. That was just like my style, and I was just like a lot of like slower vibe, like you know, like 90 to 120 BPM type of beats. Like it wasn't really going anything over that, and that was just the style that I liked. You know what I mean? And then when I started working with Bulgaria, like his beats are like very, I don't know, it's like, I would say like exotic almost. Like there's like it's a lot of different styles to what he does. Like it's not even close to boom bap, you know? So like when I started working with him and everything, it kind of forced me to like open up my bag a little bit and to kind of get out of my comfort zone as an artist. And I think that just like took me over the top too, because like I said, I'm also learning how to make songs rather than just rap. Because when I would write, it would be like almost like scripture type of writing, like where it's just like 68 bars down, you know, and there's no like hook or anything to it, you know. Now I'm like working with more like melodic stuff, and you know, and like that rap stuff is cool. I still have songs and freestyles where I just rap for 2 minutes straight, and I love that stuff. That's like I told you, like that's where I come from. But like I need that's what you need. Like everybody's attention span is so short. Like you need catchy hooks, you need melodies, you need stuff like that. And I like those songs too. So it comes naturally. But yeah, working with Bulgaria helped me open my bag a little bit and expand my game by a long shot. So I would attribute that to him.
Where would you say? When would you say you like okay, like I'm falling in love with this rap shit?
Oh, bro, since the beginning, right from the start. I would say maybe like, I don't know, maybe when I was like 16, 17 years old, just like with my friends, you know, just like when I first started smoking weed, like, you know, like just like getting high and like hanging out with my friends, and we would like freestyle in the back of a car or something, you know, smoking out of like a water bottle or some shit, you know, like
Smoking out the Pepsi can.
yeah, something that's not gonna be good for me down the line. But like, you know, like that's where it all started. It was like those like backseat freestyles and like all of that stuff, like and I just fell in love with it. And all of my friends told me from the beginning, because I never had the intention of dropping anything. Like I just liked messing around and doing it. It was like a puzzle to me. It was like trying to fit all the words in and not mess up. That was my thing. I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to stop. Like you didn't get the chance to go because I was gonna go for the whole entire beat. You know what I mean? Like that was like my challenge to myself. So that was when I fell in love with it. And then from there, like it got to a point where nobody else touched the beat when I started doing it. And they're like, bro, you gotta start trying to rap. Like you're actually good. Like you actually need to do something with it. And then from there, it just grew and grew to Buffalo State, to me sitting in front of you guys right now. So, and it's still going. This is still like baby stages, bro. Like super baby stages. Like I'm just like, you know, I try, in my head, I put myself as you know, I got to humble myself sometimes and, like, come down to earth and everything. Because I try, like, I just want to be where I want to be, like, right away. And it's like, dude, this is going to be such a long process. Like, I got to humble myself sometimes. So, but, like, dude, that's where it all started. Backseat freestyles and stuff like that.
What would you want to do prior to when you found out, like, you formed a love for rapping?
Prior to that, dude, I just always loved sports, actually. I got into a lot of injuries when I was younger. I played hockey, I played football. I have a deep love for basketball. If I could go back, I'd just play basketball all the way through. But I used to play hockey when I was little. Football, I had like a bad spinal injury when I was young that kind of took me away from sports and kind of turned me towards music a little bit. I was in like a half body brace and like a wheelchair for like so long. I remember I got rolled into freshman year at high school.
So what happened? How did you fuck up your spine?
I used to play football, and I like fell back while I was like doing this training thing and like hit my neck, and it like shocked my spinal cord, sent me into what's called semi-paralysis, and they moved me after because I didn't know what happened, and that was like the worst part. It's like as soon as they moved me, that's like when it like sent me into shock, and I like started feeling pins and needles up my legs, and it was kind of like a scary. It was when I was younger and everything, so it's not really anything that affects me now, but it kept me from playing sports. So when I was younger, after that injury healed and everything, I started playing guitar a little bit. I would actually go out and like perform at like cafe shops and like, I don't know, outside. They used to have this like music night in the plaza of Rocco's Pizza in Feel Rate health food markets, like on Transit Road. And I used to go and I used to do that every year. And just that's when I just started really getting into music rather than sports, just because I knew I was never going to get back into it the same way, you know. Just slap shots in hockey went from like 60 to 120 miles per hour in the years that I was gone. You know, I just knew it wasn't going to work out in the same way, you know. I'm not built for football in any way, shape, or form, you know.
Did you have to learn how to walk again and all that type shit?
So for the it was only like that for like 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours. Like the next morning I woke up and like most of my feeling was back. And thankfully, you know, like most of the doctors are like, it doesn't happen like that, you know? Yeah. So like I was very lucky for what happened. And it was mostly just because of the shock that happened to it and like the way that they moved me afterwards. But after that, that's why I had to be in a half body brace in a wheelchair, is to make sure that my like spinal cord wasn't moved in a certain way that would set that off. They were also monitoring like a pocket of fluid that was like that they found like on my spinal cord that I still have to go to Dent Tower and have looked at like every couple of years. So, but yeah.
Hey man, it makes the story that much better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
Is that what your brother dealt with too?
He had scoliosis.
Oh, okay.
He had scoliosis, but his spine was curved so much. Like normally they say if you have a curvature over like 40 degrees, you're supposed to like have surgery type shit. His shit was like 55 and 45, like one going one way, one going the other way.
Sheesh.
So it literally looked like the Superman. His back looked like the Superman S. Like shit was like.
Because that's why he stopped playing basketball and shit.
Yeah, he had to have like surgery, like literally open your back.
It's
with
tough,
like metal
man,
braces and shit.
I love playing football and like hockey and stuff. And I was like, I played goalie as a hockey. Like, look at what I played goalie. You know what I mean? Like, it was, but And I was good too. Like I have like MVP trophies still from like when I played travel hockey when I was a kid. So like, I don't know, that stuff was fun. But I turned all the passion that I had towards that and like towards music. And that I'm glad that I did. To be honest, I feel like everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad that it kind of turned me towards that life choice of doing this music thing.
So what high school did you go to?
I went to Williamsville South.
Okay.
But I grew up in Lockport, but my mother was a school teacher, so she went out in Williamsville.
South.
Right. they were like our rivals.
But
That's why
We used to meet them in sectional.
the Billies. But
Yeah,
reason I asked was because you went from Will South to Buff State, and then it's like you on campus rapping, and Buff State it's like an honorary like historically black school, like closest to like an all black school in Buffalo. Yeah. So it's like you show up as the white boy on campus, like
Right.
talking about some I got bars.
Yo.
Was people like, yo, like who the fuck is this dude?
Let me
Like,
tell you, bro, my first show at Buffalo State was hilarious. Like I got up there and I'll tell you, you could hear a pin drop in that room. And there's probably like 50 to 100 people in this room. Like, it could have been 50 or 2,000 for all I know. Like it looked like a lot of people. And I get up there and you can't hear a thing. And the way that I started was all like open word. So like I was like, how you guys doing tonight? And everybody was like, and I was like, I want to tell you a little something about myself. And then I started like going into like a free word like rapping thing. And by the time I got to the end of that, like people like some of the bars had people like I could hear the reactions start to grow. Like I had this one line about smoking weed and everybody started like laughing after the line. So I could hear myself slowly winning the crowd. And then as soon as that free word thing was done and the beat dropped, whole crowd went nuts. I took off my jacket. I was feeling like Superman and shit, bro. And that's like literally that was how I met Young Ziggy, who brought me to Bulgaria, who brought me to meet Open Season and all them. So like
That's dope.
that was how it started and everything. But yeah, that was I went in there feeling, and I went in as a group member of Black Active Minds. So I got on stage and people were like, "Who the f is this kid? What the hell is he doing here? Like, is this somebody's nephew? Like, what is?" Is this a teacher's kid? Like, who the fuck is this?
That's a perfect rollout, though.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, but
and on top of it, it's like majority of the people at Buff State are like New York City. New York City people are always the toughest to like win over. Yeah, so it's like if you can do that, like you good money.
yeah, man, that's where it all started. And that's awesome. Those are the best things, too. Like, it was kind of the same. I just did at the Groove Lounge, I think it was in, like, maybe January. I did, like, that BET showcase that they had there. And
Shout out to We Make Hits.
Yeah, and Fashion Guy Pre and everybody was there. They had, like, and it was a good event, man. There was a lot of insight towards, like, just the industry and everything that was really, like, valuable. So I'm glad that I did it no matter what. But when I went up there, it was the same type of thing, bro. It was like... Where did this kid come from? You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
and it's like you can spit. That's the thing. So it's
I embrace
like,
that. So that's why it doesn't bother me. Is because like I love that moment.
Yeah,
I love seeing.
I can tell by you telling the story that
right,
dude. It makes me excited.
Yeah, because it's like people like if you can rap, like people gonna give you a shot. Like you can really rap. So it's like. It makes it that much more. It makes the story that much better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just proving myself, just because like I don't know. I've worked out like I don't know if you guys just could even just tell from me talking to you guys for like this amount of time, but I've been working on this craft for like a minute, bro. Just being able to rap. I keep telling people that come through the studio too, like I prepared myself so that if I walked out of this door right now and just out of thin air, like a studio or somebody, a label executive walks up to me and is like, "Hey man, you spit the best 16 bars of your life right now, I'll sign you." I want to know that if I walk out that door and that happens, that I'm prepared to spit those 16 bars, because like you don't know when your your chance is gonna come up, you don't know when your opportunity is gonna happen. So I'm prepared for that moment at all times. You know what I mean? And I tell people that.
Stay ready, so you ain't gotta get ready.
Right. It's a fact. Yeah. So like that's what I prepared for in my craft. So when I go up there and I feel like it's a moment where I got to prove myself, like I feel like I'm practicing for that moment. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna do. My purpose is to impress everybody that's watching me. You know, and I feel like that's if you have that confidence in your art, and you like provide that confidence on the track in your performances, there's no way that you could like fail in this shit, bro. There's really no way. You know, some people just don't have it, you know, and that's a problem too. But like, you know, if you have it, you've been working for this, like, and you put in that like energy and that effort, like, there's no way you could fail, bro. You just keep going, keep doing it, and that's been the message I've been getting from people, and that's been the message I've been giving to people as well. So,
so who's an artist that like, it don't necessarily like they're like my favorite to listen to. Who's the artist that were like they care about their craft, and it's like I kind of like want to mirror that energy type of thing.
I'd be tripping if I didn't say J. Cole. Everybody in my life, my family would call bullshit if I didn't say J. Cole. So like, I definitely J. Cole. I don't know why. I just like ever since I was a kid, I just always loved his craft and everything, and just like watching what he does, the people that he's added to his roster that do the same thing with their craft. JID, Earth Gang, Ari Lennox, even like on the R&B side. Like I just think that what he does, and even his passion that runs even deeper than just rap, with him being signed to 2 different amateur basketball teams and him chasing his dream of doing pro basketball after that and everything too.
Being on the cover of 2K, having his own sneakers.
Right, like I have I'm wearing the shoe right now. Dreamers.
Yeah. Dreamers, come on.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Dreamers, the white joints. That's literally what they're called, is the white joints. Yeah. So yeah, I've always been a huge fan of J. Cole and everything that he did and his craft. And some of my cadences definitely resemble J. Cole, but I definitely try to be original in my stuff and keep it all fresh. So you won't see a lot of similarities between my music and J. Cole's music, but some of the cadences are definitely similar. I would say that one of my songs, Empty Tables, definitely, I would say it kind of resembles a J. Cole kind of style. But yeah, his craft is definitely one that I've idolized and followed since the beginning, you know, since Forest Hills Drive. Forest Hills Drive, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. It's got to be like one of the better albums of all time, right? I don't know.
What is it?
I say Born Sinner, bro. I
Born
mean,
Sinner?
that's why I asked his favorite, so I can't get mad at that. But I say Born Sinner.
It's a fight between the two. It's like you gotta.
I like KOD too. I went on the KOD tour.
I love KOD.
I went to the KOD tour too.
I love that album as well. So I don't know. There's like I like all of his music, but 2014 Forest Hills Drive, like Love Yours, one of my favorite songs. Like bro, like that song got me through some shit. Yeah. Like you know, like my first breakup, Love Yours was like, you know, I'm sitting there like 16 years old, you know, like with a bottle, you know, listening to Love Yours,
drinking away my
thinking
sorrows.
shit's tough.
Oh man.
If you say J. Cole, who else would you say?
J. Cole, and is usually still talking about craft wise. Man, J. Cole, I like Saba a lot. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I've been listening to a lot of Saba. He's got like a different style, and I really like his craft.
Saba is hella underrated.
Yeah, I've been into a lot of his stuff lately. JID, I just love JID. He's like one of the craziest rappers I think in the game right now. Just like
Just
lyrically
dropped one of the
wise.
best hip hop projects of the year. Too.
Yeah,
I didn't listen to the whole thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that shit
bro.
is tough.
That shit is great. Radar is insane. I've been listening to the one with Lil Durk too.
Right in them?
Yeah, Brother Them.
shit.
I like that song a lot. Cody Blue 31 is another one that's really good.
So,
Let me see. What's the name? Like, so as an artist, like, and you watch the news, you see all the stuff that's going on. Like, a lot of artists have like been targeted in a sense. Like, as an artist, like, how do you feel just like seeing that as somebody who makes music, who wants to be in the industry? Like, how does it make you feel about like traveling, touring, and all that type of stuff?
To be like, it doesn't really bother me at all. Like, personally, I think it bothers my family more than anything. Like my ma and shit. Like my mother's like, growing up, I didn't really have a father, so like my mother's really extra protective of me and everything. So like, she doesn't like when I be traveling alone out to these places. And my mother's like, you know, can I come? I'm like, Ma, you can't be coming to my shows, my rap shows, Ma. So like, she, you know, but like, I went out to Poughkeepsie for a show. I had a showcase in Poughkeepsie, New York. One of the sketchiest places I've ever been to. I don't know. Shout out Poughkeepsie though. I got a lot of love out there. I think I actually like placed in that showcase too. But it was man, that was a sketchy ass town. Just driving through there, like, and I'm in a place where I'm outside of my comfort zone. Never been to this place before. I'm with like one of my friends that I don't even hang out with that often, but I just needed like somebody to go to the show with. And I'm like, bro, can you come with me? And my man hooked me up and was there with me, bro. So like, you know, I feel like my love for like what I do and my music trumps any worry that I have for about what I'm doing or like that target and everything. And I feel like if I'm even at a notoriety standpoint with everything that's going on with these rappers and everything nowadays, with like, I don't know, personally with like, I don't know, I'm trying to mention the PNB thing, where like the location and stuff like that, where that girl like dropped the location and that like ultimately led to, I guess, what happened, you know, is at least what the story is. Like I feel like I'd be like extra careful in those moments once I get to that point, you know, but for right now it doesn't really bother me too much.
Understood.
Yeah, like I'm not too worried going forward.
Got you.
Do you think it also plays a factor in like the image and persona that you carry as an artist too?
Yeah, like I feel like if you move like a dickhead, that you might have more of a target on your head. Like, you know, like 6ix9ine asked for like
the stuff that you rap about, how you carry yourself. You wear a lot of jewelry. If you proclaim to be this type of artist, like a street rap or whatever, like.
For me personally, like I'm very humble in person, but like in my raps, I talk like a lot of shit. You know, like I have like a lot of egotistical statements in my raps, and I'm not like that in real life. So like I feel like there's a possibility maybe that could get interpreted in the long run, like in the wrong way. But I don't know, you know.
No, I hear you.
But I feel like that's how you gotta be. What are you gonna rap and talk about how shitty you are? Like, nah, like, I rap and I talk about like I'm the best, you know? Like that's how it's gotta be. So
I think a lot of it, like we talk about it a lot. It's like how artists don't know how to take off the hat, like take off the rapper hat for a little bit.
Right.
Put that to the side. You ain't gotta wear your diamonds to the corner store.
yeah,
Like,
nah, dude. I showed up to my first music video. You guys could watch this too. It's a music video for Ben Low, which was on my first mixtape. I showed up with like just a normal like plain t-shirt, like shorts, and like just a pair. Like I wasn't dripped out at all. Like I had like nothing. I was not trying to present myself in any type of way. Like I showed up there as me. That's what I was there to do, you know? Even going for this job interview that I'm going for right now, like I'm like sitting there at the barber and I'm like, should I like cut my hair, man? should I cut my hair before I go to this job interview? And he's like, what? So then like you don't get the job and you gotta walk around with a shitty ass haircut you don't like? Hell nah, go in there as yourself. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
That's real.
You know, so.
Hell yeah. I miss that era of hip hop where it was just like, I could just pull up in a white tee, and if I got these bars, like, I'm him. Like, fuck's you talking about? I remember watching like the old Kendrick videos and shit where they was running around shooting it with the little handheld cameras, fucking just.
I can't be
like
doing
the
that no
Carmel
more.
Days type shit.
Now I'm gonna try to put some stuff on. You know what I mean? I'm trying to put that shit on.
I mean, that's the era we in though.
Yeah, it's the era, man.
That's what they want to see.
Yeah.
Real quick question. Old Kanye or new Kanye?
Shit, old Kanye, bro. I don't know. I think the new Kanye is more entertaining, for sure. But like music-wise, old Kanye, for sure.
Watching that documentary, the old Kanye was pretty entertaining.
Nah,
too.
he was.
He was wild back there too.
He was a wild boy. Honestly,
This new shit's funny though.
Yo,
It is really funny.
He got that money now. That's wild.
Yeah, he's
artist,
wild.
I'd say like if you're talking art wise, old Kanye. But right now, overall, I like new Kanye. He doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Man's devious.
Yo, he would like literally post all of his text messages on fucking social media,
And he'll
like,
tell them that he's gonna post the text messages too before he posts them. So
literally,
awesome.
like it's entertaining to watch, but I feel like he has a plan of some shit. I don't know what that plan is.
I feel like we've been giving him that benefit of the doubt that he has a plan or he's doing this for a reason. When I honestly be feeling like he may have a plan, but he honestly just be figuring shit out as he goes along too. And because of the fact he's now a billionaire and he's a genius, we say that he has a plan, but really he's figuring this shit out, bro.
He's winging it.
Like he probably decided to wear that White Lives Matter shirt like the day before.
Yo.
Probably like a couple hours before.
He just does shit. He just does random shit, and it's just like I got $1 billion. I can do what the fuck I want.
And it pops off too.
He really lives that though. Like I can literally, like I'll do whatever I want. I have enough money to do what the fuck I want. Dame Dash, he did a podcast recently, and he was talking about Kanye, and he was talking about artists and how we live in the era cameras always on them type shit. And he talks about if you had a camera on Pablo Picasso back then, all day, every day, you would look at him like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy too.
Yeah.
Like he's cutting off his ear to give to a girl in painting himself. Like,
bro.
Like, bro, what? Like, do you think like the
Artists are weird, bro.
Yeah.
I just
And
feel like
it's
it's just like an overall. I think it comes with the territory. Like I'm weird, bro. Like I'll take it. You know, like I'm weird in a good way.
Do you think too much cameras like on like trying to like analyze the art? Does it like spoil it type of thing?
As 4 cameras are on you.
Yeah, well, I think that nowadays it's important. I feel like it really is, just because like I feel like content is just definitely key. Like I feel like it's better than having the cameras off. You know, if the cameras are never on you, then how's anybody gonna notice or you know, pay attention to what you're doing? Or you know, like I feel like
Some people like the allure or the mystery.
I guess so.
Because we could think about Kendrick. He didn't have a camera on him for at least 3-4 years.
but he already popped off.
True.
You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, he had the cameras on him. It was even the same thing with J. Cole. Like you see him now, and he ain't wearing nothing, bro. He'll wear like, you know. But in the beginning, like you know, when he was signing to Rock Nation and everything, with
had the
with
jewelry on,
yeah,
he
he
had the
had the shit
designer
on.
on.
So it's like everybody has their moment where they need to be seen by the camera, and they put on and they like introduce themselves, I guess, in a sense, you know, just by their actions and by you know what is seen by the general public, but. I don't know. At the end of the day, I guess I'd like in the future, if I end up making something of myself with this music thing, which I intend to, which I believe I will, then like I feel like I'd play it out the same way in the future, where it's like I want the cameras off of me once I've made it to the point where I want to be. But until I hit that point, you know, I feel like it's all part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's such a double-edged sword.
It is. It definitely
It's
is.
like, okay, I made it here. Do I keep going? Do I go harder?
And it's
with
high
it?
risk, high reward too.
Yeah,
Because
or
the more
do
that the
I-
camera's on you, the more chance you have to.
Do I play it back?
Ruin
Do
your
I-
shit.
I'm just like try to relax and then just give people the quality. It's definitely interesting. That's one thing I like, being able to sit and watch and like report on the shit. Like, I don't like playing that shit. Like having to figure that one out.
And I've been pretty quiet throughout my career so far. Like I need to get outside more and do more, like be at more events. Like I remember Benny had an event at Showplace Theater back in July after my show. It was like maybe late July. He had one at Showplace Theater. And my brother was telling me, he's like, bro, you gotta go to that show. You gotta be present there and like show your face and like talk to all the other fans that are in attendance. Try to get them to go to your show that's there. And like I didn't end up going to that show, but like at the same time, like he's got a point. Like I feel like I need to be outside more. Try to get myself in front of the camera. Like I could have been at Buffalo, like sitting down with you guys outside when you guys were doing your interviews, but I didn't show up. Like I should have been there, you know, but I didn't. So I just need to get myself outside and involved in more of the events like around. That's like one critique I do have of myself that I would put out there, is that I definitely need to be more involved.
Right. Who are some dream collabs?
Dream collabs besides Cole. I really like West Side Boogie. I think that would be really cool. I feel like me and him would have a really cool dynamic on a track. Like West Side, JID, like I said, I really like JID. Like Earth Gang, both of those guys, I think they're really sweet. Johnny Venus and what's the other dude's name? Like Honolulu.
Olaf?
Yeah, it's Honolulu or something.
I think it's Olaf.
Yeah, he's fire, bro. It's so dope. I really like those guys. Yeah, so those would be some of my dream collabs. I really like the Dreamville crew. It's just a lot of those
I
guys.
said Olaf. Isn't Olaf the name of something else?
Yeah,
Snowman.
yeah, the Snowman and Frozen.
Frozen.
That definitely ain't it.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
The 11th Hour. I know that was the name of your last project, but is that also the name of like your label or brand or?
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked about that. So I'm actually 11th Hour is right now just in the works of becoming something way bigger than just my debut album. We've been working on turning that not only into like what my clothing brand's gonna be, is like my artist like merchandise and everything is gonna be the 11th Hour brand, but also we're like making 11th Hour media. So all of my music videos are gonna be dropped through like this 11th Hour media. We're just kind of like making it, I don't know, like I guess like the branding behind Jaydense, because kind of like the same thing with the Jaydense show. Like as much as I want to turn like the attention towards me and my music, obviously, like I want to like, if like people are gonna buy my merchandise, I want like people that even haven't listened to my music to be able to buy my merchandise too, because to be be able to represent something that's universal. And the 11th Hour just represents like the last tick on the clock before it's too late. So that's I feel like I'm gonna turn that into a brand, as well as kind of turn it into just my like little media company, possibly a label in the future. Kind of see whatever it grows into. But I'm gonna start using that a lot in the future. So there's gonna be a lot of upcoming things with 11th Hour. But that's just like kind of like an idea that's just in its starting phases right now. So I'm gonna try to expand more on that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So for your show on the 11th, where can people like cop tickets and all that stuff?
So you can cop tickets for that at theshowplacetheater.com. All the tickets are available through TicketWeb as well. So you can go right to their website and find them, as well as if you go to my Instagram page, my personal Instagram page at It's Jaydense, you guys can find the ticket link right there in the bio. I've been posting about it all over the place as well. Same thing with Twitter. My Twitter is It's Jaydense as well. All the ticket, information is on there. If you guys go there, there's no way you'll miss it. So, been posting it all over. Even open season, I've been posting it. Kane Wave's gonna be posting it. So we're just
lineup. It's definitely gonna be
gonna be going. I'm trying to make it special, bro. I'm trying to make it something that the people that are in tune with the culture in Buffalo are gonna want to come out to see. So definitely be there. Definitely be there.
For sure. We definitely gonna have to pull up to that joint. I have to drag Dante out. He's gonna be trying to come to these joints.
I'll be outside.
We gonna be there.
You got any questions, Kimon?
Yeah, I got a couple. Just a couple. All right, so you mentioned you went to Buff State, bro. Did you ever say what you majored in?
I went for business management.
So what was like the intention with that? I don't know, before you said you ain't really.
So my mother was a business teacher growing up, so I just kind of just went for like a basic degree. To be completely honest with you, I wasn't even really excited about college really at all, really wanted to go, to be completely honest with you. I was trying to take a different route, but having a business teacher and a mother that was a school teacher, I didn't have an option. So I went to college and I went for business management, and I really haven't used that degree at all. I'm trying to right now with this whole working for health insurance and everything in the off time, but I still got to get my license for all that, see how that works out. So. But yeah,
you use it with your music career too.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with marketing and all the other things that I've learned. I had to take all those accounting courses that were god awful. So hopefully I'll be able to put that to use at some point.
Them accounting classes is trash, bro.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of and really in this music shit, you are ultimately a business. You're trying to make yourself a business. You market yourself. You try to sell your merchandise. You present, even the music you present as a product, and you're selling to a niche market. So it's there are a lot of comparisons. So yeah, I feel like it came in handy, but I'm trying to use it. It hasn't made me any money. That's the problem. So
you mentioned you and Bo. I almost called you B. Can I call you B? Yeah, you can call me. You and B, y'all be mixing, so it takes time to really mix records and stuff, right? Do y'all ever find yourselves over mixing records sometimes? Do you feel like sometimes less is more for your music?
Sometimes, yeah. So me and Bulgarian, well, I guess an example would say is sometimes I double up a lot of my hooks and everything. And sometimes in the mixing and mastering process, a lot of that gets refined. Maybe if I doubled up the one thing 4 times, I take out 2 of those doubles and it gets refined, and maybe we put more reverb on one of them that makes it sound a little bit better and stuff like that. So I feel sometimes maybe tracks get oversaturated, but as far as mixing and mastering, I feel that's where you take care of all that, where you really refine all of that and just get into the nitty gritty of everything and making sure everything just sounds pristine and radio ready when it comes out.
So you really know the knowledge of the sound engineering and everything, and you and B kind of just a tag team, really, putting both of y'all minds together when it comes to it.
He's a lot better than I am, especially when it comes to that stuff. But we're I'm learning. Right. I'm okay with that. It just means I have more room to grow. I want to get more into music theory and just learn a lot of the stuff that I don't know already. Be able to do more for myself when Bulgaria is not around or willing. So but yeah.
So my last 2 questions. First, what's the inspiration that's keeping you going, keeping you continue to make art? Cause you spoke about why, what made you do it, the back freestyles and everything, but today, what's that that fire in you? It's you know what, I'm about to go in there and really still what, you know what I mean? What's that fire in you that's keep you going?
I'd say it's a mixture of a couple of things. First and foremost, I'd say that just my love and passion for music, just as a whole. I just love music. I wake up every single day, I gotta listen to the same 5 songs that I got in rotation that I love. That just gets me up and going. So, you know, like making music in general is just like that just gets me going. That's just like what excites me. But other than that, I would say like another like really big motivator would just be the doubt that I have, like just like I have like a big doubt in myself, and like obviously the realistic reality that this might not ever happen for me, that I might never make it as a rapper. And like that like actually like fuels me to like work harder towards what I'm trying to do, or like set myself apart in a different way to where I'm gonna get recognized and to where like I don't have to worry about that, you know? Because I think about that all the time, like, because you know, I'm 23 years old. I'm gonna be 24 in November. I'm trying, like, I have a business management degree that I'm not using. I'm trying to be a rapper. Is it gonna work out? Like, what are the chances? You know how many people are trying to do what I'm trying to do? Very slim. So like, I don't know. I feel like that fuels me to go even harder and to try to separate myself from the pack, you know?
So that kind of helps with the last question, because my last question is, have you had that moment yet where you feel like people outside your circle respect your art, and is that important to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I don't know if you guys know the A-Team band.
Yeah,
in Bizzle. But I was just out in Rochester at their the Fringe Festival, and I did a performance out there, and they were out there. And Bizzle had never heard me live before, and they stuck around just to hear my set and everything before they went on, and just had like an outpour of support for me. Like, had never heard my music. Me and him didn't have much conversation going into that. I've heard of his stuff, obviously, you know, like I've seen a bunch of his stuff and just respect him from being around the town. Like he was the band for Young World when he opened up for Buffalo Ironworks. So to have him there and then to see and respect it, he was like posting it and supporting it, talking to me afterwards, wanting to be a part of the show in November. Like, that just meant so much to me. So like that just like made my week, like even having that happen earlier. So I don't know, like I support and follow like a lot of the artists in this area. A lot of the artists in this area that I follow and support don't even know that I follow and support them, you know? So when I get that support from outside, it means a lot to me. It really does.
That's what's up, bro.
Bizzle.
Really? Since when?
Since his cousin married my cousin.
No.
But I know them since like 4th grade, 5th grade type shit.
Yeah, I know.
The A-Team is good people, and like that's one thing I love about our like the Buffalo network of artists is like everybody is like you can be somewhat familiar.
Speaking to your mic.
Oh, my
being
fault.
real quiet.
Yeah, no, I was saying the
Yeah,
Buffalo
nigga,
scene.
speak it to your mic, man.
It's normally him. It's normally him. So that's how we be going. But yeah, man, like the scene, like everybody supports each other, and that was something that was unheard of. Like maybe when I was like 21, 22. So like to see it now, people like helping, like feeding each other, like giving each other inspiration. That shit is dope.
We're all after the same goal, and like I was just saying, man, it's so like our chances are so slim that if we could ultimately help each other towards that goal, then bro, it's like it's what you gotta be doing, man. It's what you gotta be doing.
Oh, yeah. Who are some of your favorite artists from the town that you like bump on a regular, maybe?
I bump Open Season a lot. I really like Open Season. I like King Wave, that Dark Mode album. I listen to that. That Dark Mode song, just Dark Mode. I'm messing around with that shit. Yeah, man, those are like some of my, obviously the Benny the Butcher, Jay Skis. I listen to Jay Skis. I love his stuff.
Shout out to them.
Conway, Westside, all those guys. Gotta listen to those guys from the town, you know? If you're even involved in the culture around the town, you gotta be tapped in with those guys.
You gotta
So,
keep your ear to the ground.
yeah, man.
For sure. Anything else you want to leave your audience with?
Man, be at that show, November 11th. I don't know when this is gonna come out. It's gonna come out before November 11th
Yeah,
or
it'll come out
after.
before.
Sweet. Then yeah, definitely be at that show, November 11th, Showplace Theater, on Grant Street in Buffalo. It's gonna be a great time. Doors open at 7 o'clock. We're probably gonna get the show kicked off with the first opener around 7:30, 7:45. There's drinks. It's gonna be a great time. It's probably cheaper than whatever place you were gonna go out to that night anyway. So just come through and party with us. You know what I mean?
Word.
It's gonna be a good time.
Facts.
Yeah.
Appreciate
you
you
pulling
guys.
up, bro.
Absolutely, man.
Sir.
No Label the Pod, we out.
Peace.
Peace.